I would like you guys to notice the steps that folks are taking here in Plum Grove to better our road conditions. So we got citizens here, folks. We have citizens who are buying their own rock, using their own equipment, and filling in these holes because our commissioner won't do it. It was kind of funny. Little signs like this begin to pop up all over the place. Vote no for Boo Reeves. And then all of a sudden, somebody has taken it to the whole nother level, folks. Paid for by friends of Plum Grove. Look at that. So, hey, let me say this. This is to Boo Reeves. Nobody likes to be talked about without having a chance to defend yourself. So I sent you a video 8 months ago asking for your side of the story. Why are our roads the way they are? I sent a video of the traffic, the school buses, the fire trucks. I got no reply. I sent a second video showing me having to put bags of concrete into holes, asking you, why am I doing this? I pay taxes to you. I got no reply. I called your secretary on Monday of last week. You weren't in the office during office hours, whatever. I know you're a busy man. I get no reply. I ask you, I invite you to come to our meeting over here when we were going to discuss these roads and just find out why we're not getting any help. You didn't show up. You didn't send a representative. So listen to me, brother. I'm sorry if this sounds disrespectful that I'm talking about you behind your back, but it's not behind your back. 2 channels of local Houston news have reached out to you.
Mayor of Plum Grove said she's tried to have the issue fixed, but has been ignored by Precinct 3 County Commissioner James Reeves. And we contacted that Liberty County Commissioner James Reeves by phone and by email, but have not heard back from him. We also went by his office and we're told he was out for the day. We're hoping to hear back from him. When we do, we will let you know.
ABC 13 has reached out to Reeves, but haven't heard back.
All right, so I have a theory. Now, it's just a theory. We all know that humans are driven by motives. I mean, you have to have a motive, a reason to do something or not do something. Now, usually we all know that money, power are huge driving factors in, the things that make people do stuff. But we also know that sometimes those motives could be anger, hate, jealousy, or racism. It's just a theory. All right, so let's have real talk for a minute. Let's talk real. After Hurricane Harvey, because of the flooding, most of the original citizens of Plum Grove were forced to move away. They weren't able to rebuild, either financially or they just physically were not able to rebuild their homes from the flooding. And so the Terrenos, the Spanish developers, began to buy up the property, and the demographic of Plum Grove changed significantly. Now, sorry if this hurts people's feelings, but we know that most of these immigrants are not voters. Possibly they don't have status to vote. And so ultimately, it makes someone who's in power in a way above the law, because ultimate fear of someone who's an elected official is the fact that he could lose an election if he doesn't uphold his promises, his campaign promises. And so all of a sudden you have a gentleman who's in office who looks around and says, you know what? Why should I spend any of my budget on that small little piece of my precinct? Really, why should I? Instead, let me overindulge other neighborhoods where the voters are at. Yes, but ultimately, I'm wondering what the motive is for not bringing a load of rock a tractor, a couple of guys with the flag crew. Help us, folks. Come on, Commissioner. Last thing I'm going to say, folks. Last thing I'm going to say. And I'll be done. I would say if I were a commissioner, I would be embarrassed. I would be ashamed of myself for sitting there taking a salary, which I think is close to $80,000 a year. Taking a salary, yet ignoring the folks who pay me that salary. And instead, have citizens of a community, most who have lived here their entire lives, having to use their own money, their own equipment, to buy their own materials, while I sit on my hands and do absolutely nothing. If you'll just bring us the rock. You got enough folks here who will do the labor. We just need the materials.